Hello everyone, it's Tara here, and if you're bored, don't worry, because I've got 25 entertaining Gorilla Tag facts that you might not know. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video, and leave me a comment with how many of these facts that you already knew. We're starting off with number 1, Doug's secret wife. Everyone knows about Doug the Bug, but did you know he didn't always exist? He made his grand entrance in the Summer Splash update in May 2023. Doug became the game's first official insect. He's tiny, he's blue, and he's often found fluttering around in the forest map, sometimes crashing into things because maybe he's not the brightest bulb. But wait, it gets better. Doug isn't single. According to Gorilla Tag lore, Doug the Bug has a wife who lives here in Bayou, the dreary, swampy map. Players have joked about Doug's long-distance relationship and how he probably has to explain to his wife why he's constantly getting picked up by random monkeys. Number 2, mice holes. Did you know that if you get into a certain corner in the basement maze and die to the monk eyes, you can remain tiny and run around in the entire basement? Then there's these little mouse holes you can go into and just pretend you're a mouse. Fun stuff. Number 3, Lucy's name origin. We've all been jump scared by Lucy, but how did she get the name? Well, no one's entirely sure, but some players think Lucy might be a nod to the various Gorilla Tag ghosts or creepypastas that might have gained popularity among the Gorilla Tag community. The name Lucy may also be a reference to the fact that the earliest human remains ever found were named Lucy. I don't want to state the obvious, but some players may not know, Lucy will not kick or ban you. Gorilla Tag's just not that advanced. Number 4, snowballs and balloons don't float in water. Believe me, people have tried many times. They just sink like rocks. Number 5, Gorilla Tag's unreleased music. Probably everyone knows about the Monkey Need to Swing, the bop that was the first ever soundtrack to the game. But did you know there's at least 4 unreleased tracks that never made it into maps? My personal favorite is Canyon Riders. Number 6, fun dev credit fact. If you check the support section in the computer, did you know that 6 out of the 7 dev names start with the letter A? Coincidence? Or is it just that A-tier talent is drawn to Gorilla Tag? Cheesy joke, sorry. Number 7. I bet you didn't know this, but if you enter the stump when you're in giant mode in Guardian, you stay big. And it actually looks ridiculously funny. Number 8. Gorilla Tag was inspired by raccoons. Let me explain. Lemming was inspired to create Gorilla Tag after his time as a pro Echo Arena player. He wanted to capture the immersive feeling of VR movement, but with a focus on pure locomotion and skill, no button-based movement. But something most people don't know is that another inspiration was Raccoon Lagoon, a 2019 metagame with similar movement mechanics. Imagine if we got Raccoon Tag instead of Gorilla Tag. Life would be very different. Now I kind of want to go check out Raccoon Lagoon, whatever the heck that game is. Number 9. Why Gorilla Tag isn't free on Steam anymore. So Gorilla Tag was originally free on all platforms, but in 2023, the Steam version introduced a hefty $20 price tag. The reason? Hackers. Lemming and the devs explained that PC accounts were constantly being used to hack, evade bans, and ruin lobbies. The amount of time spent fighting cheaters was taking away from the actual game development. Here's what they had to say about it in their actual words. We appreciate all of the support on Steam, but we spend an insane amount of time fighting hacking. Any time we spend stopping cheaters is time we can't spend making the game better. Sadly, we had to start charging for the Steam version as a deterrent. So by adding a price tag, the devs made it harder for hackers to create endless burner accounts, which helps keep the game safer for the rest of us. Number 10, the rarest Gorilla Tag items. Before Gorilla Tag became one of the top games in the Meta Store, it was early access only. Before they launched it publicly, did you know they dropped an early access supporter pack that's now completely gone forever? The pack was a one-time purchase during their early days and included an early access badge, which is kind of the ultimate flex, a chrome cowboy hat, and a sunny sun hat. Wow, that's an original name. If you own those items today, congrats, you've got an exclusive set of cosmetics that will never return to the store rotation. They aren't just rare, they're a piece of Gorilla Tag history. It's pretty cool. Number 11, Gorilla Tag broke records. In 2024, Gorilla Tag released its first ever official plush through Makeship, and it was a massive success. Not only did it sell over 50,000 units, but did you know it actually became the top grossing Makeship campaign of all time, reaching a ridiculous 26,786% funded by the end of it. If you managed to snag one, you own a cool piece of GT merch, and if you didn't snag one, there's a new Makeship campaign out right now with even more merch. They've already sold tens of thousands at the time I'm making this video. Number 12, the myth of the mod stick. The mod stick is one of the rarest cosmetics in Gorilla Tag, held only by moderators. Players often think that touching it will ban them, but in reality, did you know it does absolutely nothing to normal players? However, mod reports made by players who own the mod stick carry more weight, meaning if a mod stick owner reports you for breaking the rules, rules, it's taken more seriously by the moderation team. Number 13, the first ever bundle rerun. On January 24th, 2025, something happened for the first time ever in Gorilla Tag. The Mad Scientist bundle returned. I had just started playing more regularly, so silly me. I thought it was new until some angry people corrected me. In case you weren't aware, up until this point, past bundles were never re-released, making this a historic moment. In the game, mind you, Lemming has released a statement in the past about items making a comeback after there was an uproar about re-released cosmetics. Here's a snippet of the announcement from late 2022 explaining why they will continue to bring back old items. The long and short of it is that our position that we want to continue bringing back items hasn't changed. The underlying reasoning is that we want this to be a fun, welcoming environment where we can bring people in and show them this cool game that we all love. I'm very much against doing something that would cause new players to feel alienated or like they missed out on something and won't have a chance to experience things along with everyone else. I know for my part, I never liked it when I would play a game and I didn't have the same opportunity as everyone else to earn or unlock everything just because I came to it later. I mean, it's a fair point, I suppose. So when you see items returning that you bought like 3 years ago and you thought were a flex at the time, try not to rage on everyone, okay? Number 14, Gorilla Tag is rated E for everyone, with a psychological horror tag. Yep, Gorilla Tag is rated E, but if you check its Steam page, you'll notice something weird. It has the psychological horror tag. Why is this? It's probably because of all the ghost rumors, the creepy lobbies, and terrifying player encounters. After all, there's nothing scarier than running to a 6-year-old in a VR headset. Where are the parents? I'm joking. It's probably because of Lucy's jump scares and the prospect of getting rabies in the caves from handling Matt the Bat. Speaking of, I haven't seen him today. Number 16, the backstory of the Monkai. The basement map features a surprising fantasy influence, which I bet you didn't realize. The creepy monk eyes, those weird floating one-eyed creatures seen in the maze, are actually inspired by the oculothorax. Okay, that's a difficult word. The oculothorax is a monster species often referenced in fantasy, and it closely resembles the Beholder from Dungeons & Dragons, a massive floating eye with multiple tentacles. Lemming and the devs have sprinkled fantasy elements throughout the game, from themed cosmetics to spooky events, but the monk eyes are one of the most direct references in Gorilla Tag. But if you nerd out about that kind of stuff, you probably already knew that. Number 17, Quest 1 support is officially gone. Did you know that on December 17th, 2024, Gorilla Tag officially discontinued Quest 1 support? The devs announced, Quest 1 players, we have important news. Gorilla Tag will no longer receive updates for Quest 1, and we're rolling back to the Monkey Blocks update. You can still play, but future features won't be supported. This means that anyone stuck on a Quest 1 is now in the old version of the game, unable to experience new maps, cosmetics, and features. But really, who plays on a Quest 1 anymore? Like 5 people maybe. Number 18, the Forest Stump used to be different. Forest is the original map, and it's remained mostly unchanged since Gorilla Tag launched. Players speculate that it will eventually get a massive makeover, but other people are adamant that it's purposely nostalgic. Did you know that when Forest first came out though, climbing into the stump was actually much more difficult because there were branches instead of a ramp? I'm glad there's a ramp because that sounds like a nightmare, honestly. Number 19, the Wizard. Did you know that there's a wizard fortune teller in Gorilla Tag? He's right outside the entrance to the arcade map, and if you hit the button, you get a short fortune. Just don't expect anything profound because it's usually something simple like, tomorrow brings a smile. What does that even mean? Number 20, new Liv Cam option. Did you know that the Liv Camera allows anyone to record themselves, create videos for social media, and share moments inside of the game without the need for external mods? Anyone who just started Gorilla Tag might not know this, but this is an extremely new feature that was only added in December of last year. Before that, you needed to install mods to get a camera option. Thank you, Gorilla Tag, for adding this. It's honestly a lifesaver. And in case you weren't aware, you can hold the Liv Cam close to you, and then it will stay with you wherever you go in the game. Just check occasionally because I've seen it get stuck and ruin my footage if I wasn't careful, namely going into the maze here in basement. When you shrink, it seems to suddenly just get stuck. I hate it. Number 21, Gorilla Tag's rise to fame. During its early access phase, Gorilla Tag reportedly reached 1.5 million lifetime players by the end of 2021 and 4.5 million by November 2022. By that month, it had surpassed Beat Saber in becoming the most user-reviewed game on the Quest store. Beat Saber, that's wild. And in addition to this, there are countless knockoff versions of the game in the store, including one called Animal Company that is currently zooming up the ranks in popularity. That's a lot of inspiration drawn from one simple game about monkeys. Number 22, weird eyebrows. If you hop up and over the booths on the left in City, you will find a booth containing eyebrows. I feel like Gorilla Tag should switch this up because eyebrows, really? Some of you may also not know this, but the highest place in City to buy cosmetics is this booth here. It's barely visible and rather tough to traverse to, especially for new players. Inside, you find these cat ears, which are part of my signature outfit. Number 23, flying with 2 gliders in clouds. It's possible. It's extremely hard to do, but yes, you can technically do it if you master double glider control. Number 24, hidden shapes in City. In case you didn't know, there's some leftover shapes here on the 2nd floor of City. It really shows how Gorilla Tag is made, because you can see that no matter where you stand, the side of the rectangle faces you. I don't know if the devs left this here on purpose or by mistake. Number 25, hidden gold monkey mask. Another thing most players don't know because they never come up here is that once you're in the abandoned store in City, there's a cosmetic to buy, which is this gold monkey mask. Well, those are all the Gorilla Tag facts I have for you today, but definitely check out the video I put on screen here. Watching that one next will help the channel out a ton, so drop a like on the vid and then head on over. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go relax at the beach now. Later!